Empire Earnings. Build your financial empire.
What if I told you that in the last 8 years of investing, I made almost every mistake in the book? I panicked during market crashes. I bought stocks I didn't understand. I invested money I literally couldn't afford to lose. And you know what? I'm actually glad I did, because those mistakes taught me exactly what I'm about to share with you today. If I had to start over, zero portfolio, zero investments, a completely blank slate, here's exactly what I would do. Step by step. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build unshakable confidence, avoid the traps that trip up most beginners, and set yourself up for real financial freedom starting right now. Stick around, because step 7 is the one most people completely ignore, and it could be the single most important thing that determines whether you succeed or fail. All right, step 1, and I know this might not be what you were expecting to hear, but before you invest a single penny, you need to get your financial foundation right first. Here's a stat that might actually surprise you. Nearly 40% of adults cannot cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money. Think about that, 4 in 10 people. And this is exactly the kind of thing that makes investors fail before they've even started. Because imagine this, your car breaks down, a medical bill lands, and you have no cash buffer. You're forced to pull money owed of your investments at the worst possible time. Because before I open any investment account, there are exactly 3 things I make absolutely sure of. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Let's go through each one. Number 1, clear your high interest debt first. Credit cards, store cards, personal loans, anything above that 10% interest mark, pay those off before you invest a single dollar. Credit card interest rates can hit 20%, sometimes even higher. But the stock market's average return over 100 years? Around 8 to 10% per year. You see where I'm going with this. Number 2, build your emergency fund. At least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. In a savings account, you can actually access quickly. Yes, this might delay your investing journey by a few months, but it means you will never be forced to sell your investments at the worst possible times. And number 3, know exactly how much you can invest every single month without putting yourself under any financial pressure whatsoever. Because when your basic needs are covered, you can stay calm during market dips. You don't have that desperate urge to sell. You can ride out any chaos. So if you're paying off debt or building that emergency buffer right now, don't see it as delaying your investing journey. See it as level 1 of your wealth building plan. Once your financial house is in order, you'll be ready to invest with confidence and actually stay invested long enough to see real results. Here's step 2, something that genuinely shocked me when I first saw this stat. Less than 1 in 3 investors has any specific long-term goal when they start investing. People start investing because they've heard it's the smart thing to do, but they never actually step back and ask themselves, why am I doing this? What am I investing for? So they open an app, pick a few random funds, maybe a trending stock or 2, and they just hope for the best. Then the market dips and they sell. So if I was starting from scratch today, the very first question I would ask myself is, what am I actually investing for? Is it to retire early, buy a dream home, travel the world? Here's the simple rule I follow. If you need the money within 5 years, keep it in cash. A high yield savings account. If the goal is 5 years or more away, invest it. Because the longer your money stays invested, the more the short-term fluctuations even out, and the higher your chances of real wealth. And look at this chart between 2020 and 2025. Money invested in global shares grew from $2,666 to nearly $5,000. That is nearly 3 times more over just 5 years. And that gap only gets bigger the longer you stay invested. Okay, step 3, and this is where most people completely freeze up. There are so many types of investment accounts that it's easy to fall into analysis paralysis. And you start researching one account, then another, and hours later you've done nothing. I get it. From the outside, investing seems incredibly complicated. But here's the reality. Once your financial foundations are set and your goals are clear, choosing an account is actually surprisingly simple. I promise. Open an account, put money in it. That's it. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need a job on Wall Street. You just need to take that very first step. First, if your employer offers a workplace pension with a company match, use it. This is essentially free money, and you absolutely must take the full match. Then open a tax-advantaged account. In the US, that's a Roth IRA. In the UK, it's a stocks and shares ISA. In Canada, it's a TFSA. Check what your country offers. Inside these accounts, all your profits grow completely tax-free. That means dividends, interest, capital gains. The government cannot touch any of it. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. An imperfect account that you actually open and fund is infinitely better than a perfect account you never start. Here's step 4, something that still blows my mind every single time I think about it. Are you ready for this? If you invest just $100 a month and you earn just an 8 to 10% average annual return, after 30 years, you will have over $140,000. But you'll have only personally put in $36,000. The other $104,000? That is compound interest doing the heavy lifting for you, without you lifting a single finger. Here's how it works. You invest $100. It grows 8% in year one, now you have $100. In year two, that 108 grows again, giving you $116. But here's the problem. A survey found that 44% of people say a lack of knowledge stops them from investing, and 41% say they are scared of losing money. I get it. I completely understand why. If you've never invested before, the stock market looks incredibly technical and intimidating from the outside. But if you start small and you stay consistent and follow the next step NEP, you are very unlikely to actually lose money over the long run. Okay, step 5, I want you to imagine something with me. Your New Year's resolution is to eat healthier. So you decide, I'm just gonna eat pasta every single day. You'd start feeling sluggish, unstable. You wouldn't hit any health goals. Investing works in exactly the same way. If your entire portfolio is just one thing, when that one industry takes a hit, everything in your portfolio crashes at once. That's where diversification comes in. And it is your financial balance plate. So here is what I would do if I was starting from scratch today. I would not try to pick individual stocks. I would invest in index funds, full stop. An index fund tracks an entire market. The S&P 500 includes 500 of the biggest companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all in one single investment. You never really know which part of your portfolio will do best. But by holding a mix of assets, you don't need to. The winners offset the losers. Always. Okay, step 6. This next one is my personal favorite. And it might sound completely counterintuitive. Are you ready? The secret to great investing is doing almost nothing. Fidelity, one of the world's largest investment firms, once analyzed which accounts were performing the best. You know what they found? The accounts belonging to people who had forgotten they had one. I know, that sounds morbid. But the lesson is incredibly powerful. The less you tinker with your investments, the better you tend to do. Let that sink in. So if I was starting from scratch, I would automate as much as humanly possible. Set up a monthly transfer from your bank straight to your investment account, right after payday. This does 2 very powerful things. First, it makes your investing consistent. You're not relying on willpower, it just happens. Second, it removes your emotions from the equation. When markets drop, you don't have to make a decision. The money goes in automatically. No panic, no second guessing. You just live your life while your portfolio quietly grows. And now we've reached the step 7 I told you about at the very beginning. The one most people ignore. And honestly, the one that matters most of all. The stock market has crashed 19 times in the last 150 years, and every single time, without a single exception, it has recovered and gone on to reach new all-time highs. But here's the problem. When it happens to you, when you open that app and see your portfolio down 20%, 30%, even 40%, you don't think about history. You just see red. The Great Depression, the dot-com crash, the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID crash of 2020. Some of these wiped out more than half the market's total value. But look at what happens after every single one of them. The market bounces back. Every time, often higher than it has ever been before in its entire history. I remember the first time my own portfolio dropped significantly. I genuinely thought I had made a huge mistake. I actually almost sold everything. But what I learned, slowly, painfully, is that the market rewards patience, not panic. Those are the 4 words I want you to remember from this entire video. And this is why every single step we've talked about today is connected. Your emergency fund, your clear goals, your diversified index funds, your automated investing. All of those steps give you the confidence to stay invested when everyone else around you is losing their minds. That is the real edge. That is the real advantage. So if I was starting completely from scratch today, here's the full plan. One more time. Step 1, get your financial house in order. Step 2, define your goals and time horizon. Right. Step 3, choose the right account. Step 4, start small, but stay consistent every single month. Step 5, diversify with index funds. Step 6, automate everything you possibly can. And step 7, learn to stay calm when things get messy, because they will. You don't need a 6-figure salary. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need any special insider knowledge. You just need to start and stay the course. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful investor made mistakes along the way. What separates them isn't luck, it's that they kept going. If this video helped you, please hit like and subscribe. I'm putting out a video very soon on exactly what to invest in based on your specific life goals. And if you know someone who's been thinking about starting to invest, share this with them. It might be the thing that finally gets them started. As always, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next one.